Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Is the audio okay? Great. Hello, everyone. Hi, can you hear me? We'd like to invite you all to take your seats. We're about to begin. All right, we are going to get started. Thank you all so much for being here at our second annual Demo Day Showcase. We are excited to have you all here to introduce these incredible companies we've been working with the last few months. We're going to start things out with a few remarks from our Executive Director, Tom Wavering, from the Tom Love Innovation Hub. Come on, Tom.
All right. Thank you, Dayton, and welcome all to our biggest ever and second annual OU Startup Programs Demo Day. Again, my name is Tom Wavering. I'm the Executive Director of the Tom Love Innovation Hub. What you're going to see tonight is the product for some of these folks. It's been about 12 weeks. For some of these folks, it's been about a year. So we have two different programs. One is a Startup Accelerator Program. One is a Startup Incubator Program. As you can imagine, the folks in the incubator are probably hopefully a little further along, and the folks in the accelerator are starting to figure it out. And so the idea is tonight, both these programs are going to end, this month. And so the idea is we want to have these great startups, kind of tell you a little bit about what they do. So up here, they're going to give you just really quick, like 3 minutes, who they are, and then they will all remind you to go see them downstairs. The bulk of the event's going to be downstairs where you'll have a chance to talk to them, see their demos, get some food, get some drink, socialize. Should be great. A couple just quick thank yous before I introduce Corey Phelps, the Dean of the Business School, for a few words. Just lots of thank yous. So thank you to the incredible staff of the iHub that put this all together. So Drew and Dayton and Rachel and all the students. So if we can give them all a round of applause. Also, we could not do what we do without the great support of incredible community partners. So folks like Cleveland County, who let us use this beautiful space for no cost. Thank you very much, Cleveland County. And then also lots of other partners like the City of Norman, Norman Economic Development Coalition, the Norman Chamber of Commerce, on and on. I also have to thank the people who pay to make all this happen. So the startup programs were actually launched about 2 years ago as part of a grant that we received from the U.S. Economic Development Administration. So thank you, U.S. Economic Development Administration, for making this possible. And then tonight's event is also sponsored by kind of a combination of the Price College of Business, Boyd Street Ventures, and Prima Ventures, who are all working together to kind of really grow the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Norman. So with that, it is my honor to introduce to you someone who literally, 2 hours ago, less, just got off a plane from London and thought, I know what I want to do on a Friday after spending a week in London. When I live in Oklahoma City and I flew into Oklahoma City, I'm going to drive down to Norman. So give this man your attention and your applause. Corey Phelps.
So thank you, Tom. If I look a little bit rumpled and I sound a little bit incoherent now, you know why that's the case, because I do feel like it actually is midnight for me, or just past midnight. So I'm just going to take a few words. I've had the great fortune in my career to work with startups in universities in great places: Seattle, Washington, Paris, France, Montreal, Canada, and now in Oklahoma at OU. And in all of those places, what they all have in common, and you know this, what makes a great entrepreneurial ecosystem is, at the core, a very strong research university. So we have a very strong research university in the University of Oklahoma, whether it's the College of Engineering or Earth and Energy or Atmospheric Sciences. We all play a role in helping to create startups. But we can't do it without that ecosystem. They say that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes an ecosystem to raise a successful startup. So I want to echo Tom's thanks. None of this is going to be possible. We will not be the engine of growth that we can be as a university for the state of Oklahoma, for the region, without the support of venture capital financing, without the support of programs that are run at the iHub, without the support of the state, without the support of the city, without the support of the county. It's coming together, working together, nurturing, fostering these startups that are going to really drive economic progress for the state. So again, I want to thank you all for being here, for contributing to this. I'm looking forward to the pitches. I'm looking forward to learning more. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Tom and say thank you very much for coming out tonight and supporting the startup programs at the University of Oklahoma. Thank you.
All right. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dayton, who's walking away. He's like, I got out of it. He's like, no, he didn't. But just one quick reminder, again, you're going to hear 13 pitches from folks who have been working really hard. So absolutely give them your attention. Some of you give them your money. But mostly kind of give them your advice and support. And again, that can really happen next door. So with that, Dayton, who's our first victim?
Okay, so we're going to announce our first company, Bison Underground. You want to come on up here, Stephen? All right. And a round of applause.
All right, hi everyone. Thanks for being here. So I'm Steve Adams, the founder of Bison Underground. We're taking carbon out of the atmosphere where there's too much of it, and we're putting it into soil where there's not enough, tackling climate change and improving health for farmers in their soils. And so my mother grew up on a small farm, and I spent the early days of my childhood playing on that farm, and that farm was lost due to financial trouble. I'm determined to prevent that from happening to others, and so I've put together a team of geologists, engineers, policy and communications experts, biologists, to ensure our technology gets into the hands of farmers who need it most. In pursuit of this goal, we've been awarded $250,000 from the Carbon Prize, X Prize for Carbon Removal, which is a scientific prize sponsored by Elon Musk. And so here's the problem. Carbon in soils has been depleted by 50%, usually from plowing, but also harmful and expensive soil additives that are put on the soil by farmers. And they're spending $36 billion annually to keep their plants alive in a dying soil that's depleted of carbon. And so there's been a 33% decrease in production growth over the last decade. And so to take care of this issue, we are going to take crop waste, which exists in abundance on many farms. These are the stalks and leaves, everything except the corn cob that you're going to buy in the store. And we're going to take that, which is rich in carbon, inject it into soil where it can decompose and compost. And so doing so improves the resiliency of plants against climate events like drought and flood, and it's going to increase farmer yield and reduce the risk for farmers, which is their main concern. And so it's going to decrease fertilizer use, which can harm adjacent environments, and it also provides the opportunity for farmers to make income in carbon credits. And so right now is the perfect time to develop and deploy this technology. Governments around the world are working to mitigate climate change through regulation, but there's also a lot of funds available. The private sector is feeling the crunch from governments to deal with this, but they're also feeling the crunch from investors. And so people are interested in offsetting their carbon footprint, and farmers need organic material in their soil. And it's a huge reservoir to store carbon long term. And so our technology in the hands of farmers addresses the issue of all of these groups. And so our technology works not just on large farms, it does work on industrial scale farms, but it's scalable for any soil that needs remediation, from these big farms to market gardens to turf fields. and everything in between. And so with that, that's the end for me. Thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, come find us at our booth. We'll have a demonstration later. But thank you very much.
All right. Unfortunately, our next company, Cadenzo, none of their founders could be here due to personal reasons. So they have prepared a short video to talk about their company and their service model and how they work. Okay, that is unfortunate. Marie, you're my technical guru. How do we fix the audio? Okay, let's just move on to the next one, and we are going to have Cardia. So that's the founder, Prakyat, right over there. Let's go ahead and give him a round of applause.
Hello. Hi everyone, my name is Prakyat and I am the founder of Cardia, Health Without Compromise. I am also an international student, a sophomore at OU. And when I first came to the US, I realized that in my first year, I gained about 30 pounds. While I did set out to push boundaries, it was not of this kind. Then, I soon realized that almost everything in the US has sugar in it. And this creates some problems, and I was not ready to compromise. So I started looking into alternatives. And the general consensus with alternatives is that they taste weird or they lack the versatility to replace sugar. But as I further fell into the rabbit hole of researching sugar alternatives, I stumbled across allulose. And allulose was different. It was very identical to sugar, and when you further look into its chemistry, it starts to make a lot of sense. Now, allulose is a naturally occurring compound that mimics all the primary properties of sugar at just 1/10 the calories. It freezes, melts, crystallizes, and even has the mouthfeel that is very identical to sugar. But it also comes with health benefits such as not affecting your blood sugar levels, not irritating your GI tract, or even causing visceral fat. Now, with the decline in sugar consumption and the rise in alternatives, there is an immense market opportunity here. The allulose market is set to grow about 19% per year from 2019 to 2026. And to address this market opportunity, I've chosen to approach it with the small and medium enterprises. And at this point, manufacturing it or even retail doesn't make a lot of sense as it's quite expensive. And also, it's an unproven product as it received its FDA classification as a fiber in 2019 itself. So currently, I have partnered with restaurants as a way to discover the best case uses for allulose, as well as partnered with a food scientist and biochemist to find and develop a solution using allulose-based products as well as its derivatives. Now, using the data guidance and marketing, I hope to spread allulose to as many consumers and products as possible. Now, I would like you all to visit my booth to try a sugar-free cookie that actually tastes good. Thank you.
All right, our next company is Catapult from our startup incubator. They've had a bit of a storied past with us. They originally started out with two completely different companies, which they have essentially merged the best of both worlds into this new initiative.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mo. I'm a software engineer. I work for Tinker Air Force Base. I have a master's in computer science. So back in 2021, I wanted to get into entrepreneurial ventures. And I thought I had $1 million idea just like everyone else, right? So I started developing the app. I jumped into development mode, guns blazing, joined the OU incubator. And Euphoria was at an all-time high until it inevitably started to die. And I had to face the cold, hard fact that I suck at selling my product. So this is where I met Jason, and it was through our collaboration with one another that Catapult was born.
So after serving in the military for the last 20 years, I've worked on several entrepreneurial ventures. Also as a sales consultant with the world's largest technology companies. And I've won several President's Clubs awards. And what's helped me give the most passion I've had has been helping other people learn how to do the same thing. And so my time in the incubator originated with building a platform to help people with their strategic goals and to build a better mindset through holding themselves accountable and unlock greater potential. So when Mo and I connected, we did a little bit of a revamp of my product roadmap and pivoted a bit to now connect the client and consultant together first. And so Mo's going to tell you a little bit about the mission that we're on.
So the purpose of Catapult is to help tech entrepreneurs like myself get the value that they create out in the world in the hands of consumers, so they can realize the potential that they actually have to create.
So if you think about it for a second, that there's just great technology entrepreneurs that build phenomenal products, right? And yet the thing that they lack is sales experience dealing with sophisticated buyers. Decision makers that work in corporate environments that they're just not used to that type of scenario. And so deals get lost, time gets wasted. Valuations of those companies decrease, and investors that have funded those projects, portfolio performance decreases, all because they can't afford to hire top sales talent.
The solution we propose is a marketplace that aims to bridge the gap between the tech nerds and the sales experts so that it can streamline the process for the tech entrepreneurs to get their problems out there in a more streamlined manner so they can get on-demand help for a price that they can afford. And on the flip side, the experts can get access to leads when they are hot and ready to pay that they can, of course, convert into long-term clients.
And so if we think about it, what's gone on over the last couple of years with the Great Resignation, and this mass exodus has led into a 24% increase in entrepreneurship. And the global consulting market is an $11 billion industry with a 7% increase year over year. And so our job, what we propose, is that we're going to bring the two of these together. So come check us out at our booth. We can talk about our financial strategy and our business roadmap, and look forward to chatting with you then.
Thank you.
All right, welcome up here, Dr. Chu with Duex Nano, an incredible product with nanoparticles. Don't know anything about it.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pen Chu. I'm a research professor at OU, founder and CEO of Duex Nano. My partner is Dr. Wang, and we two worked in the same lab for many years. Together, we have more than 25 experience with nanomaterial research with 30+ publications in this field. The product we're trying to develop is nanomaterials. The technology is an OU IP, and we have filed a provisional patent for this technology. And we have also been invited by the National Science Foundation to submit a full proposal to further develop this technology. We believe our nanoparticles will make a change to the current market of anti-reflective coating, which is ARC in short. The ARC is a thin optical film that is applied on the top surface of electronic devices and glass lenses to reduce light refraction and glare. With our nanotechnology, we can enable the production of ARC with a method that is much simpler than what's being used currently in the industry. As a result, it will reduce the cost of equipment and the cost of product by more than 90%. The global ARC market had a size value, the global ARC market value was 4.5 billion in 2019, and is expected to grow to 8.5 billion by 2027. Among this market size, the contribution made from the nanotechnology-based solution is negligible at the moment, and this is because there's a supply shortage. To date, there is only one Japanese manufacturer for this kind of nanoparticle, and they only supply domestically, which means there's a huge untapped market for us to enter. And we have been in conversation with 2 US companies in the ophthalmic lens industry and 1 Chinese company in the thin optical film industry. The company in China, they deliver their products to companies like Huawei and TCL, and we plan to send some of our samples for them to test as soon as next month. And for product development, we plan to start delivering our nanoparticles to the retail market in next month, and to the B2B market at the beginning of next year. So to achieve those goals, we will have to stick strictly to our timeline for the IP license, for funding application, and for the production scale-up plans. And that's it. And thank you for your time. And if you want to know more about our nanoparticles and how they're converted to the end product, please do stop by our booth. Thank you.
All right, we're going to have Grace Holland, the Chief Marketing Officer for Intango, come up here. You'll recognize one of the names. The founder of this is Sae-Soon Kim, who is also one of the founders of our accelerator company, Oklahoma Guano.
And is this one right? So when I first transferred to the University of Oklahoma, my one goal was to visit the OU Observatory before I graduated. I went to my first event, and it turned out I was the only one who was there. So, for many incoming students, like transfer, international, remote, rural, students coming into the university for the first time from a rural or a diverse background, this is a very common problem. So that's why we created Intango, an application explicitly for college students to connect with organizations and campus life. My name is Grace Holland. I'm the CMO, like Dayton just said, of Intango, and our founders, Dr. Sae-Soon Kim and Se-Woo Han, and also Dr. Byung-Ju Han, created, coded, and built this app from the ground up. We have an accumulated around 15 plus years of experience in AI and algorithm, and this is what makes us the perfect team to create and deliver this app. So what is exactly the problem? The problem here is that there's not a space for these students to connect. There's not a space for people to find their communities. So we see that it's really difficult to get involved on campus as an incoming student, as an incoming transfer, or like I was saying, international or rural, because these spaces are difficult to come by. Especially for these students, the bridges are higher and it's more difficult to reach them. And also communication is getting more and more difficult as the years progress, as COVID-19 has made a lasting impact on our students and also our youth. So what's our solution? We created a live university feed for organizations to connect with our students. These students have their verified, they're verified by their OU IDs, and we hope, well, okay. So our secret sauce is our recommendation algorithm. If you want to hear more about this, we'd love to share it with you at our booth. Last year, we won the OU Innovation Fund and put all of our efforts into creating our first MVP. Then, last month, after long hours, lots of time, lots of money, and lots of energy, we created our second MVP. And then, last week, we were able to put our app into the hands of users for the first time. Then, in the coming semesters in spring and fall, we hope to put our app into the hands of many users on campus additionally. Thank you so much. This is us. If you want to have another deeper chat about Intango, we'd love to talk to you at our booth. So, and also you can scan this QR code and check us out that way too. Thank you.
All right, welcome Ashley Brown, one of the co-founders of FlareClip, one of our accelerator companies, shining star.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Ashley Brown, and I'm the COO and co-founder of FlareClip. Macy is the CEO and the co-founder, but she was not unable to make it here tonight. Okay, FlareClip started when me and Macy were in an entrepreneurship class together, and we were told to come up with something that bugged us. And me and Macy came together, and we were like, oh my gosh, we have this problem that every single time we wear a hair claw clip, we are forced to remove it due to the discomfortability and pain that we are enduring whenever we lean back. So me and Macy have talked to over 200 people, and every single one of those people have also said that they have this problem. Whether that be laying back in a chair, sitting on the couch, driving in your car, on an airplane, things like that. You can kind of see in these pictures right there, we kind of showed how that is. So Me and Macy are the market, or the target market. We are the consumers, and we're having this problem, and we know that so many other women are also doing this, or having the same problem. So we came up with a solution. Our solution is to take the benefits of a banana clip and the functionality of a hair claw clip and marry the two together to create a flat back design of a flare clip. And we believe that flare clip is the next generation of the hair accessory market. So why now? So when we look at the market research for the hair claw clip, it was huge. The hair accessory market is massive, but we decided that we were going to take that into our own hands and do our own market research. So in the nearest summer, we are actually going to start small batch productions, and we are going to get feedback from our consumers, and we are going to see what their ideas are about like design, quality, and pricing points for the flare clip. And so, and like I told you, we have been talking to over 200 people, and we are continuing to talk to people to make sure that we are meeting the needs that consumers have for making sure that this is a viable solution. Yeah, and so that's it. I would love if you guys would come try out our prototype at our booth. Thank you.
All right, our next company, 3 co-founders with Helion Illumination. They have a very interesting story. Come on, guys. Love to hear about their pivot. Make sure you ask about it.
Hello, we are Helion Illumination. My name is Harrison Best, and I have a bachelor's in design and production with an emphasis in lighting design. I've also worked on over 50 productions over the last 4 years, both professionally and in university.
My name is Ethan Brown. I'm an electrical engineering major with an emphasis on electrical system design, and I'm responsible for building all of our prototypes.
My name is Samuel Moore. I have a bachelor's in entrepreneurship and accounting, and I specialize in new venture development and startup finance.
Helion's mission is to make the night safer and brighter. Our story begins with my background in lighting design, as I saw a problem with overhead lighting and how expensive it was to put a light in the air. So we started developing different solutions using aviation to make this cheaper and more efficient. Unfortunately, due to constraints in materials and expensive costs, we pivoted to a more addressable market with a greater problem.
As you can see from this first photo, emergency scenes are often very poorly lit, which makes them unnecessarily dangerous for everyone involved. And current solutions on the market are either grounded or only provide directional lighting, which is ineffective for illuminating the scene.
Our solution is a lightweight aerial lighting device that is both brighter and more adaptable than current solutions on the market. To give you an idea of just how bright our light is, your iPhone flashlight, or just your phone light in general, outputs 50 lumens of light. Our light is outputting over 75,000 lumens of light. Just as well, our light provides direct lighting from above, because if you look in any given space, where is the light coming from? Directly from above you. It's because it's proven to be the most efficient way of lighting any scenario, and much more efficient than any directional lighting could provide. We are in close collaboration with both the OU Police Department and the Norman Police Department, both of which utilize drones in their service. We are also fleshing out potential market expansion in both fire departments and other disaster relief organizations and programs to really take our attachment to the next level. We'd love to showcase for you just how bright our light is and just how much we can do with it. Please come visit us at our table, Helion Illumination.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to bring up that name I mentioned earlier, Sae-Soon Kim, the incredible doctor and quantum physicist right here, ladies and gentlemen, talking about the future of science and technology in Oklahoma.
Hi, my name is Sae-Soon Kim, founder of Oklahoma Quantum, and we envision scientific innovation in Oklahoma using quantum technology. Oklahoma Quantum is a group of PhDs and engineers trying to build a quantum sensor. Sean and I, we are at the University of Oklahoma working on the quantum sensor research for 7 years. And Brett is our advisor of the company. He was working in the early startup, and also he is investor of the early startup. And Jay is our backend engineer. So quantum technology has a potential to replace current technology by providing 10 or even 100 better sensitivity than state-of-art sensors. And because of that, federal government is interested in to develop this technology in the United States. In 2018, Trump administration allocated $1.2 billion to grow this technology in the United States. In Oklahoma, we don't have a quantum company yet, but we have a strategic plan to develop the economy using the scientific innovation. I believe that Oklahoma Quantum will align with the federal and state government their goal to achieve their goal together by building a quantum technology in Oklahoma and also bring the talent from out of the state, also keep the talent in Oklahoma so we can grow the economy together. So what we try to do is building a sensor that can be used into the satellite, self-driving car to space mission. So for example, for the satellite or self-driving car, they have to use the GPS signal to locate their location. But the problem is, so then with the quantum sensor, we can internally sense where they are. So then the device, like a spacecraft or self-driving car, self-aware their location, so they don't need a sonar signal or from the GPS or satellite signal anymore. So then this will allow for the long-term mission for the military, but also the space exploration more than the Mars or beyond. And this technology will be also help to the Oklahoma businesses because Oklahoma is known for the energy and also aerospace dynamic. So this will also work with them and build the economy together in Oklahoma. To do that, we actually, I talked with the defense contractor at the Department of Defense and NASA, and we are currently communicating with, we are planning to communicate with NSF. And by preparing the proposal, we actually talked to the industrial partners, L3Harris and Honeywell and General Dynamics, so that they are willing to help us with the commercialization plan and also provide some of the materials. So right now, we are waiting for the NASA proposal, and that will actually by end of this month. So I'm very excited for that. And with the success of the proposal, we are planning to develop our product and then commercialize our technology by next year. And in 2025, we want to become a major government contractor for the quantum technology in the United States. So I was in university for 7 years at Oklahoma, and I saw a lot of my friends leaving the town to get a job. I want to stay here, build a company, and also do fun with my friends together. So if you share the vision with me, please come and talk with me at the booth. Thank you so much.
All right, Ashley Faccio, founder of PayPro League, utilizing her background in HR and career development to give people a better bargaining position.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Ashley Faccio, the founder of PayPro League, a web and mobile all-in-one solution to bridge pay gaps and create pay pros by helping job seekers handle the dreaded question, what is your desired salary? Just a few days ago, I was reminded why I founded PayPro. Someone came to me and told me that they received a promotion and received a 20% salary increase. Yay, I was excited. Until I realized that the person that is in their direct report actually makes more than them, and someone in a similar role with similar experience was making about double of what they make. As a senior HR certified professional with experience creating salary structures for a Fortune 100 company, I founded PayPro to help combat situations just like these. And I have an amazing team of full stack developers to help me do just that. Here at PayPro League, we believe that by providing people with access to as many resources as possible in one place enables them to create incredibly financially secure futures for themselves. So today, you'll see that HR, technology, and lawmakers focus on organizations first and job seekers second. And we know that 72% of the workforce is financially stressed, and many employees focus on their salary as their single source of income. PayPro League puts people first by focusing on job seekers as our first priority and organizations as our second priority. We do that by allowing you to go to one place to find salary data. So today you may be going to Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, and it takes a lot of time. We make that a more convenient process by centralizing it in one place, allowing you to come to us and research all of that in one place. And so the opportunity is huge because I know there are a lot of salary tools out there, but I'm still receiving a lot of text messages and emails saying, do your fancy magic and tell me what salary I should be asking for this particular position. They're wondering if LinkedIn salary data is even reliable. And the bottom one is my favorite. Someone handed me a job description and just asked, what salary should I ask for? And so we are seeing a record high of 11.55 million job openings in March. And so we're ready to help attack the market and provide them with access to that salary data. And so if you want to get early access, please come see us at our booth and we'd love to give you a demo. Thank you.
All right, Rome, one of our, we call him the Ghost. He has spent about 3 years with us now at the Innovation Hub. Yeah. Let's see what that has amounted to.
Trying to. Hey everyone, my name is Logan. I am the founder and CEO of Rome Outdoors, and along with my partner Garrett, who acts as our COO, we're the founding team of Rome Outdoors. You can see some of our experience on the screen, but I'll tell you a little bit more about why we do this. I'm an avid and addicted duck hunter, which means I was burning a lot of rubber, knocking a lot of doors, and getting a lot of no's, seeing someone's got to solve this problem, and somehow I ended up in that role. Garrett is an accomplished Eagle Scout, as well as an avid outdoorsman and fisherman, and a fourth-generation landowner in Claremore, Oklahoma. Our mission at Rome Outdoors is to provide access and opportunity to America's rural communities. The way we do that is by solving landowner problems using hunting as our tool. Over the last 9 months, we've built the Hunt Portal, which is a day hunt platform allowing landowners to monetize their property in a secure manner by allowing us to offer day hunts to a trained group of hunters. And while we've had some good traction, it's a little bit of a slow process. As you can imagine, it's a big ask to ask a landowner who doesn't like change to offer it to a bunch of strangers. So in an effort to serve more of our demographic, we've launched our second service, Rome Secure, which is solving the problem of landowners having liability exposure when hunters visit their property under a paid model. The current solutions, there basically are two of them. There's a verbal agreement, which we describe from a liability perspective as having your pants around your ankles, because it's a lot of he said, she said in the event of an issue, as well as even on the lower end of communication, there's basically no structure, or it's up to your memory, and that's tough. On the other side, there's the traditional hunting lease, which you may pull off the internet, put in a few things of information, and call it good. Most people think that they're fine, but until the event of an issue, they're good, and then there's an issue that happens, and they're kind of back to where they started, which is why we describe it as having a shoestring for a belt. As our offerings, our solution, which we describe as a strong leather belt, is a document management platform that allows landowners to create personalized hunting leases and a secondary suite of liability waivers that allow them to cover themselves in multiple layers of liability protection throughout the whole process. It really is two steps. You create the hunting lease, we help you do it, we help you execute on it, and then the hunters are in charge of getting all their friends and family to sign it so that you're better protected. Over the next 5 years, we plan to become the standard in safe hunting by continuing to grow the Hunt Portal and the Day Hunt platform, as well as Rome Secure, and offering other risk management solutions, such as trespass signage, which most landowners just don't do because it's a little bit too complicated and they've got too much on their plate, and then growing into other hunter solutions until, like I said, we're the standard in safe hunting. Like I said, my name is Logan. I am along with Garrett over at our booth. We have a big arch and a bunch of different stuff all over it. We're easy to see by the stage. Come see us. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, next up we have Jerica Handy, founder of Swift Enough. She's in our accelerator, and she is all the way down from New York City on the Big Apple.
Hi, my name is Jerica Handy, and I'm the founder of Swift Enough, which is an apparel company changing the narrative around who gets to be well. So we sell comfy, casual clothing that has messages that are designed with purpose. So what we're trying to do is promote more mental health equity within wellness and we're doing that with clothing. But before I share more about my company, I want to share a bit more about my mental health story. Growing up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I often find myself in spaces, predominantly white spaces. It was very rare when I found people who looked like me. And so that really put me in a dark space. It's hard for me to find resources that reflected my lived experience. I go to my counselor at school, even talk to friends, and look for resources online. And I struggled to find that resource that I needed. So that's the reason why I created Swift Enough, to create something that that gives people greater access to mental health and people that need it the most, for sure. So this is some of our team. We're really a team of creatives. So we have our graphic designer, we have our director of people, and our graphic designer is not shown right here, but she's the one that creates all the designs for our apparel. So the problem, why I created Swift Enough, pretty much the wellness industry has a very Eurocentric perspective. It doesn't really reflect, the wellness industry does not reflect our diverse world, and that is what we're trying to do, and putting more people who show that diversity in our clothing. So at Swift Enough, we are deeply reimagining what wellness looks like. And we are doing that through apparel. So our clothing is genderless designs. We integrate health positive messages on our clothing, and we're putting people who have traditionally been removed and hidden in the wellness industry in our clothing. So why now and the market potential? So the wellness industry is valued at $4.2 million, and it has a lack of authentic representation. And it traditionally does not include Black and brown communities. And in turn, they feel ostracized, unwell, and unworthy, similar to how I felt at a very young age. And we're here to change that narrative. So if you would like to learn more about how we're making an impact, please join us at the booth and learn how we're making more change in the wellness industry.
All right, trucking right along. We have Tolu Onu and Dr. Evan Floyd with UFit Mask.
All right, well, thank you. We are the UFit Mask Helper team, as you can see here. And our team is comprised of 5 members at this point. Myself, Dr. Evan Floyd, Tolu Oni, and then we have Ken Merrill, Ingtao Liu, and Chungji Kai. Together, we have more than 60 years of experience in science and technology and innovation. Ken and I served on the COVID-19 task force for the University of Oklahoma, developing strategies to preserve our PPE and to ensure that our medical community had the protection they needed to serve the broader community during this outbreak. That led ultimately to the UFit Mask Helper that we have turned into our business proposition. Tolu and Dr. Kai assisted in analyzing over 500 different masks, surgical masks, N95s throughout the pandemic, and we built the infrastructure that was necessary for us to be able to evaluate the filtration and to also evaluate the fit and performance of these masks. So the UFit purpose here is to design and provide products that provide fabulous protection for the healthcare workers and the essential worker community.
So when the pandemic started, healthcare workers were required to use N95 respirators instead of surgical masks because surgical masks were loose-fitting and didn't provide the necessary level of respiratory protection needed. And so in our interactions with the healthcare workers, they expressed their preference for surgical masks because it was more breathable and it was more comfortable. So we sought to solve this problem by creating the UFit Mask Helper. So it's moldable to fit the customer's unique facial profile, has adjustable straps, improves respiratory protection, and provides the same level of fit as the N95 respirator. So in comparison with our competition, the UFit has the same level of comfort as the surgical mask and the same level of protection as the N95. And so why now? The pandemic is still raging, it's ongoing, and all over the world it's still raging in some countries. And even though our product was born out of the pandemic, we believe that post-pandemic, when there is a need for enhanced respiratory protection, UFit is the solution. And looking at the market, the medical face mask market for this year is worth about $5 billion, and healthcare workers make up more than 50% of that market. And if we target UFit to the healthcare workers, we are looking at almost $500 million in revenue. So you can come chat with us at our booth, and we'll have a free UFit mask helper custom modded to you. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Ben Harris with our from our startup incubator, Vern. All right, you ready? Let's go. This one right here.
Hello, my name is Ben Harris. I'm the founder of Vern. We use emerging technologies to optimize community resources. Prior to joining Vern, I led research and development for the city of Tulsa. We applied AI to address social issues such as eviction, fire, and other optimization type problems. Unfortunately, the remainder of my team is not able to make it tonight, but they have complementing skill sets that allow us to tackle very complex problems. We believe that emerging technology should mutually benefit community members and municipal governments equally. Cities spend millions of dollars each year managing customer complaints. As you can see, blight, homelessness, street issues, public transit, and traffic are the top issues based on a qualitative study we did. So as we went through this required us to basically finish a qualitative study, which allowed us to show that cities spend millions of dollars, and we basically realized that there is a better solution out there. First of all, we use mobile cameras with route optimization that allows us to collect data 20 times faster than our competition. We then use proprietary data and artificial intelligence models to automatically identify issues. This then gets fed into our native application that allows municipal governments to review issues 40 times faster than current solutions. This leads to substantial savings. Based on data that we collected through our month-long pilot, we expect to be able to save cities up to 50% of their code enforcement budgets. This is a wonderful time to be into this space. There's a huge push for smart city solutions across the US right now. And over 1,000 cities could benefit by this technology across the world. Right now, we are only aware of one other competitor in the pilot phase, and we believe we have the optimal solution that allows us to have competitive advantage. Based on our economic model that has been reviewed by a third party, we expect to be able to save North America up to $400 million a year. And this allows us to have a profit margin income of up between $50 and $150 million a year. And this is just the beginning. We expect to be able to monetize our data and to be able to make even more income off of that. We're also looking at partnering with airports, military bases, and are looking at how regulations are going to change in the near future that will allow us to have a hybrid drone and unmanned vehicle solution as well. Please come by our booth and try our app and experience the data firsthand. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, really quickly, unfortunately we cannot get those technical problems worked out for Cadenzo, so to give you guys a really quick update about what they are a logistics company that has developed a new application that has created an all-in-one logistics tool for venue management. So they work for both venues and artists to streamline that booking process and increase the rate of bookings significantly, creating new opportunities for culture and community life in municipalities and across the state, and they are currently working on rolling out their first official, full-out, brand new beta in 4 venues in Tulsa this summer. All right, so that is what we have. They are also will have a booth out there in the expo. Andres Gonzalez, who I mentioned is one of their co-founders, will be available to answer questions that you have asynchronously. There are instructions on the booth on how to contact him and how to ask those questions. It's a lot of voice memos. They are technical guys. So that is the end of our founder presentations. We would like to ask you all to give a great round of applause for the incredible companies and for our sponsors and partners. I'd now like to invite Tom up here.
All right, so now that you've heard the quick version, now you can just relax. All the hard work's done, their hard work's done, your hard work's done. You sat there, you were a great audience. Now we're all going to go down the stairs, pause and grab food or drink if you would like, and then go to the building right behind you, which is where all the exhibits are and demonstrations are, where you can have a relaxing, casual conversations. And remember to write lots of checks. They take cash, you know, lots of options available. So work your way over there, and don't forget the food and drink that's on your way. So grab something as you go. All right, see you on the other side. Thanks.